जय राधा माधवा गुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा गुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा गुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतस्य श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are continuing our study of Srimad Bhagvatam, 4th canto, 16th chapter, entitled Praise of King Prithu by the professional reciters. Text 4. Esha dharma vritam shreshto Esha dharma vritam shreshto Lokam dharmenu vartayan Lokam dharmenu vartayan Gopta cha dharma setunam Gopta cha dharma setunam Shasta tat paripantinam Shasta tat paripantinam Esha dharma vritam shreshto Lokam dharmenu vartayan Gopta cha dharma setunam Shasta tat paripantinam. You can recite. Mataji, anyone? Word to word. Eshaha This King Prithu, Dharma Vratam, of persons executing religious activities, Shreshtaha, the best, Lokam, the whole world, Dharme, in religious activities, Anuvartayan, engaging them properly, Gopta, the protector, Cha, also, Dharma Setunam, the principles of religion, Shasta, the chastiser, Tat Paripantinam, of those who are against religious principles. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. This king, Maharaj Prithu, is the best among those who are following religious principles. As such, he will engage everyone in the pursuit of religious principles and give those principles all protection. He will also be a great chastiser to the irreligious and atheistic. Purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, the duty of the king or the head of the government is described very nicely in this verse. It is the duty of the governmental head to see that people strictly follow a religious life. A king should also be strict in chastising the atheists. In other words, an atheistic or godless government should never be supported by a king or a governmental chief. This is the test of good government. In the name of secular government, the king or governmental head remains neutral and allows people to engage in all sorts of irreligious activities. In such a state, people cannot be happy. Despite all economic development, in such a state, people cannot be happy despite all economic development. However, in this age of Kali, there are no pious kings. Instead, rogues and thieves are elected to the head of the government. But how can the people be happy without religion and God consciousness? The rogues exact taxes from the citizens for their own sense enjoyment. And in the future, the people will be so much harassed that according to the Srimad Bhagvatam, they will flee from their homes and country and take shelter in the forest, if they are still forests by then. However, in Kali Yuga, democratic government can be captured by Krishna conscious people. If this can be done, the general populace can be made very happy. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachanam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Oh my Lord. Okay. You remove this? You remove this?
Hare Krishna. So we are very fortunate to have His Grace Hemrupa Chaitanya Prabhu. So Prabhuji was born and brought up in Malaysia, and his family is from Kerala. And by education, Prabhu has a master's degree in electrical power engineering from University Tenanga National. And he worked as a lecturer, I think, in Malaysia before moving to India in 2012 on a yearly visa basis. And Prabhuji came to take brahmachari training in Vada for a year or so, but his heart got captured. Yeah, he came to take training in Chapati, and then his heart got captured, and he stayed in Vada for the last 11 years. So he came in contact while he was 19. Devotee came to conduct Gita course in his university. He met his spiritual master, Dr. Shivas Chaitanya Prabhu, who guided him. And by nature, he loved languages, culture, and traditional arts. By trade, he's a writer, public speaker, and a debater. Both styles of British parliamentary and Austral-Asians. He also has participated in many interfaith dialogues. He possesses a Bhakti Vibhav degree and he teaches Bhakti Shastri, Srimad Bhagvatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And currently serves with ISKCON Govardhan Eco Village there. And Prabhu is also experienced in many services for CSR, fundraising, and many things. So we welcome him by one time chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Thank you.
So most of the devotees are brahmacharis or the base?
Yeah, yesterday most of them were there, I think. Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Very grateful to be here. The boys we met yesterday, isn't it? Thank you for coming back. and some other devotees are also there. Sorry, I had a lot of speaking and singing yesterday for the whole day. And I came back very late at night. So, voice box has limitation. So, again, just repeat because some of you are not there. So this section we are seeing in Srimad Bhagavatam is a glorification of King Prithu. And the bards in the 15th chapter were glorifying him before he even exhibited any prowess. And Prithu Maharaj was saying that, glorification without sufficient justification is an insult. If you glorify me and there's nothing to prove, there's no paper behind me, it's an insult. So nevertheless, in the 16th chapter, when the bards continue to glorify, because when Prithu Maharaj said it, he said it smilingly. He did not say it, hey, mat bolo aisa. He didn't say like that. He was smilingly. So the bards were encouraged, and in yesterday's verse, we saw how they presented that they want to glorify because he's part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we saw in yesterday's class that the Lord comes to give us all a chance to glorify him because it's for our own well-being, isn't it? We saw about the functions of the tongue, which is to take and to chant. Like that, we saw a few verses. So for today's discussion, this verse and this purport speaks about the duties of a Kshatriya. Now, across Srimad Bhagavatam, basically there are two kinds of people which are always highlighted. The Rajas and the Rishis. Bhagavatam is only about, of course, we have Raja Rishi, but a lot about Rajas and a lot about Rishis. You got a lot about kings and a lot about saintly people. And throughout the Bhagavatam, these qualities are very much highlighted because they are considered the heads of society. Like Prabhupada says, you can't have a headless society. So, because Rajas and Rishis, if they are properly trained and well situated, then society functions better. It's easier to train the leaders, train the trainers, than to go through a mass of people. So, Bhagavatam emphasizes or focuses especially on these qualities of leadership and qualities of how is it to be, a proper guide for Rajas and Rishis. So, Prithu Maharaj is one section which many devotees, especially our GBC college, every time GBC college, GBC college, to be a GBC member, you have to go to college, isn't it? Your degree is not enough, right? So GBC college in ISKCON, they generally take this section a lot in 4th canto, Prithu Maharaj section. So here in the purport, many qualities are highlighted, duties of a king or what we call as a Kshatriya. And, Prabhupada says that ultimately, the duty of a governor means a Kshatriya, whatever you may call it, is to ensure that people are following their duties properly. People are well engaged. It's a big task actually, to make sure people are well engaged. And, if they are not, then how can they be happy? Prabhupada quotes that, in 12th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, it's mentioned that the kings will be such rogues and thieves, they'll be exacting taxes, that people will become so difficult that they'll start running away to forest. Now, I don't know if all of you remember the turn of the century, year 2000, December 31st, 1999. Okay, if you remember, because that was the time that the Y2K bug, you remember that? Still remember? I don't know. So the computers were going to turn, because everyone showed 98, right? We had 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, then 00. But they were worried that there was a bug. Maybe the computers will realize it as 1900. Instead of seeing it 2000, the computers may recognize it as 1900. So there's a big tension. They say that planes will crash, satellites will crash, everything will, because of its date is very important. So there was a big stress in the world at that time. And I remember all of us, December 31st, 1999, 12 midnight, we were waiting, Bhara baj gaya hai. So the whole world is going to crash. And there were many people in the United States and Europe at that time thought that gone. These scientists had made a big mistake that time, it's gone. So many of them actually left to the forests. Many of them left to the jungle. There was news reports on this. They said the world is going to crash. But to the disappointment or whatever, nothing happened. They managed to fix the bug towards the end. They installed patches. I'm sure you know what's a patch. Right? They installed patches and upgrades, and they managed to correct that mechanism. And therefore, you'll see now in the 21st century, date is given with 4 digits. No longer they use these 2 digits because it's very misleading. That's a mistake they learned in the last century. Okay, so there's a big thing at that time. Anyways. So like that Prabhupada mentions, so I thought for today's class, yesterday I was promising one of the devotees, that I will speak something about, I do not want to call it Varna Ashram, but I want to call it nature, psychophysical nature. So I'm going to base this presentation on Dr. Urmila Mataji, Prabhupada disciple. She has written recently a very nice book which I attended, a seminar on it. It's called Career Dharma. So Mataji, if you know probably, she's like very senior Prabhupada disciple, PhD in education. She holds a very big post in ISKCON education as well. In world education, she's published many books and very grounded, very sober, sadhvi. She's on a level of even accepted by GBC, like guru level. So Urmila Mataji is a very senior person and she published this book, and we attended in Govardhan Eco Village a 15-hour seminar. Okay, we went to 5 sessions. So it was very thorough and it's a huge book, right? But I thought that today I'll speak a little on it because at the end of the day, we have to deal with the material body, we have a material mind, we have material desires. Ultimately, she even writes in the book that ultimately if we practice Tivra Bhakti, it can overcome everything, right? That is our goal. But to practice that, first we have to go to the initial stages. So the initial stages is accepting who we are, what we have, and working with it. Not fighting with it. Accepting who we are, what we have, and working with it. But the problem is we don't know what we have, isn't it? Or we don't know what we are. So 2 things are there in today's presentation. One is going to be called as prosperity types. Okay? And the second thing is going to be called as field of work. So first let's see the prosperity types. Now Lord Sri Krishna is known as Shad Aishwarya Purna. Correct? Why is the Lord so attractive? Because he has 6 opulence, incomplete. Now Jivatma is an amsha of the Lord. Yes or no? So if the Lord has complete in all 6 qualities, Jivas also have some qualities. Yes or no? What is that ending of that? Yad yad vibhutimat sattvam shrimat urjitam evava tat evavagachatvam mama tejo amsha sambhava. Please understand, anything you see shrimat, wow, factor. Anything you see urjitam, powerful. These are nothing but my amsha, Lord is saying. So therefore, we can accept that all Jivatmas, any living being, has some Aishwarya. Yes or no? So this is called prosperity type. Now we have to recognize, Aishwarya here basically means what drives you. What drives you. Okay, so 6 things. What drives you. So she has made a very fantastic analysis. You know the 6 Aishwaryas, right? I'm sure you have done all the DYS course and all these things, isn't it? We show photos and... So the first is Aishwarya itself. Now people think Aishwarya means money. Aishwarya does not mean money. Aishwarya comes from the root word Ishwara. And Ishwara means control. So someone who has the prosperity type of Aishwarya, they need resources. They need money. They need control. These people need positional leadership. Now it's not bad, huh? It's like, hey, control wale aadmi. Not like that. They need positional leadership. They love to mediate. You know mediate? Do log ka problem hai, ruko, I'll come. Chalo, you sit here, I'll take care of it. They have this nature, this is their need. They love organizing. Anywhere organizing, they need it proper. So these are natures of people who have the prosperity type of Aishwarya. And I'm going to speak all 6, okay, and the definitions of each, and you have to find out according to your nature, which actually, may have more than one. That's not wrong. You may have more than one. Generally people I have 4, okay. So many people have 3 or 4, 2, 3 or 4. Some people have only 1. They're very boring. Maybe focused, I don't know. But this is Aishwarya type. What drives you? Some people love this position. Now it may not necessarily be money. Okay? Because everyone needs money. Yes or no? But what do you use money for? That is the purpose. You say, Aishwarya, nee, Prabhuji, I'm not interested in money. That doesn't mean that you're not an Aishwarya type person. Because money is used to secure something. Like, do you want money for security? Do you want money for luxury? Do you want money for power? What do you want money for? Money is a tool. Money is a tool. Money is not the thing. Okay? So, a person Aishwarya type wants control, needs organization, and money may be there. But if they have everything, let's say they have positional power, they have control, they have mediating, they may not even be interested in money. We find many leaders who are very not interested in their own personal luxury. Why? Because they have leadership, they are satisfied with that. Right, so sometimes you see big leaders, they be very, like, I can't quote names now, Bhagvatam class. But then if you see in normal modern day society also, you'll find many leaders of state, right? They may be very renounced, very simple, almost like sadhu type. Apne ke liye kuch nahi hai. But that position and power they hold. So not necessarily money, huh? Samajh gaya, thank you. So, कोशिश किया मैंने बहुत. So not necessarily it's money. This is the first kind of prosperity type, Aishwarya. Alright? Second is called Jnana. Jnana means someone who is driven by knowledge, driven by wisdom. These are the kind of people that love jobs or love work where there is constant learning in the job, not after the job. Not homework deke, ghar jaake padhai karo, SOP manual, no. In the job. Example are medical practitioners. Okay, any doctors? Anyone from medical background? No. Huh? So medical practitioners, you need to upgrade your skill always. There's a license that comes by government. You need to attend courses and they love it. What is the new type of surgery? What is the new type of machinery? What's the new type of... They love it. Okay, educationists, those who like to teach, they also like to upgrade their knowledge. New book has been published, different way of thinking. Wow. So someone who is into knowledge, someone is into wisdom, they are people who are naturally inquisitive. They'll go around seeing everything. Why? If you do not give them this thing, they'll become very bored at work. They cannot take monotonous work. Very boring work. They are naturally inquisitive. So these are the people who have a Gyan prosperity type. They are interested. Bhagavatam के बाद क्या है? चैतन्य चरितामृत के बाद क्या है? और बहुत हैं, don't worry. आचार्य ने बहुत लिखा. So they have a natural inquisitive. Okay? This is those who are. And some people are not like that. We meet many people, Hare Prabhuji, ho gaya na, kitna baar bolenge? Like in job, in work, if the boss comes and tell you that you need to study this to improve your coding. Pata hai na mujhe coding, kya problem hai? Kya chal raha hai? Theek chal raha hai na? They'll feel irritated if someone asks them, gives a Gyan component. That means they do not have the prosperity type of Gyan. Does it make sense? Right? Okay. Third. Now again, 15 hours seminar I'm giving you in 1 hour. Thoda sa rabdi hai. Third type, because in my years I've come across Varnashram talks and many people, but when I actually met Mataji and discussed with this, I found this research was very profound and her definitions, and we were all challenging people who sat in the audience. We were all asking why you said like this, why we were all challenging, and she was welcoming to challenging, but it was very good. So I found this like one of the best, I could say, presentation. Third is Virya. First was what? Aishwarya. Second is what? Jnana. Third is Virya. Virya basically means to do with the body. Someone who needs physicality, someone who needs physical awareness, they're into health, right? And they're involved physically and they like chivalry. For example, a fireman, okay? Or a dietitian. Dietitian, you know what's a dietitian? Nutritionist. These are the kind of people that, they are concerned about the welfare of the body. Swas jo hai, body jo hai, ठीक होना चाहिए, health होना चाहिए. If they go food eating, they'll say samosa में 300 calorie हैं, ये हैं, अच्छा ये ले लेंगे बस मेरा. So they are very concerned about their health. It is not bodily conscious, not that kind of aham mameti kind of thing. But this is naturally a person who prioritizes their health. It drives them. For example, if there was yoga in the temple, they say, yes, I would like to do it. They may promote yoga in the temple. Okay, because they have that kind of virya thing. They are the people who sees book distribution when people are carrying the boxes. They feel करना चाहिए ऐसा. They get driven by it. ऐसे लोग हैं ना, समझ गए मैं? और जो कुकिंग करते बड़े बड़े बर्तन में, उसको लग रहे प्रभु चलो मैं भी कर रहा हूँ. So they are driven by physical work. They are virya. They are driven by that. Active होना चाहिए. Right? भेट के नहीं करने का. I'm sure you're thinking of your friends. शांति शांति. खुद को निरीक्षण करने का. Self study. Okay? So these are the kind of people. And they may not necessarily be hatte katte. Not necessarily. They can be ekdam patle wale bhi, but it's very active. Somebody guest comes to the temple, they say you should come here. They're moving around a lot. This is known as their virya. They need that. So if they get a job, for example, which is, because I'm in Bangalore, coding, for example, sitting down and tick, 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 tick. Right? What's the name of the deities again? Sri Sri Radha? Huh? Gaurangi? Gaurangi, yeah? She's Gaurangi. Jai Shri Shri Gaurangi Bangalore Ishwar ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki. So, so if a person has a virya prosperity type, he needs that, right? Chivalry, action, physicality, and he gets a job of a, coder because the money is good, right? But what happens is there's a dissatisfaction. So these are the kind of high chances that after work, if they leave the office at 9 o'clock, they will hit the gym. They will hit the gym and they'll start working out. They'll build up that six packs and biceps, triceps, just to come to work to next day. इतना विशाल शरीर बनाया कोडिंग के लिए. इतना भारी काम है क्या? नहीं है. Is it so heavy to press a key? But why are they doing it? Because dissatisfaction. It's not matching. Of course, they're doing it for money. Everyone is doing it for money. But in the long run, it will not make you happy. Imagine, remember, Krishna conscious process is to be happy, happily situated. If we are happily situated, then Krishna conscious is just a walk in a park. It's brilliant. Else we'll be a little grudging. Okay? So we need to identify what motivates me. So this virya person, he needs some physicality. So then they might go into health. No problem. Right? There are other people who do not like this virya component. They find it irritating. Temple mein, someone introduces yoga. Kya bhakti yoga, Prabhu? What yoga, voga? Bhakti. We have people like that. Some people are not bothered about diet, they're not bothered. Right? When you say about health, they say we're not this body. एक दिन तो मरने वाली है, छोड़ दो. That means that component is not a motivation for them. Okay? Again, you can have one, you can have two, you can have three, you can have four. Generally, at least Mataji says this, people have max 4. That's fine. That's the third. Fourth is Shri. Now we say Shri. What does Shri mean? Shri in general means beauty. Beauty is manifested through natural arts, visual arts, auditory arts. People who are musicians, people who are decorators, people who like to do deity worship, they have a Shri component. People who like beautiful photos of deities, they have a Shri component. People who, if they get a book, they will put a book cover. Right? There are people like us in ashram Melissa, I say, बहुत अवधूत है, book मिला तो बस book मिला ना, cover भी घूम जाते कभी कभी. But there are people who get a book, they cover the book. They have a Shri component. Now again, she goes later to explain that they are primary and secondary. Some of the prosperity types are primary, बहुत forefront है, and some are थोड़ा बहुत. कभी कभी Prabhuji. So it comes secondary. Okay? No problem, but you have to identify what is, and there's nothing wrong with it. When you understand this, you're happy. Yeah, मैं ऐसे ही हूँ. Right? So Shri means you like beauty. Now these are the kind of people who like splendidness. अच्छा होना चाहिए, चकाचक होना चाहिए. It looks good, it looks nice. These are the kind of leaders. They can become leaders also. They are known as charismatic leaders. There's a difference between charismatic leadership and positional leadership. Positional leadership means you have a title. Charismatic leadership are people who are natural leaders. When they walk, उसके पीछे 100 लोग आता है, but उसका कुछ position नहीं है. ना काउंसलर, ना मेंटर, ना टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट, ना कोई ऐसा ही है, लेकिन लोग अट्रैक्ट हैं उनसे. मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर्स, राइट? मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर्स, डू दे हैव अ पोजीशन इन सोसाइटी? दे आर लाइक, सम पीपल में थिंक अरे क्या है, हर जगह जाके बक बक कर रहे, बट दे हैव सो मच फॉलोइंग. So they are known as charismatic leadership. Those who have the Shri component, naturally they become charismatic leaders. Naturally they become charismatic leaders. You don't have to give them a title also. है, कुछ ना कुछ, कोई ना कोई उसके पीछे है. Right? Like if I see from our temple, Gaur Gopal Prabhu, if you see for example, charismatic, wherever you go, people are coming up, but he doesn't have a position. He's not a temple president, he's not a GBC, right? And he's not interested in positions also. Because unka wo hai nahi, wo jo Aishwarya aspect. He doesn't have that. He's not interested in holding on to having a title. Charismatic. So they are more Shri. Beautiful deity dresser. If you see, if you take one personality and analyze, he does deity dressing very beautiful, very meticulously. So these are the kind of people that have this Shri. Okay? These are the kind of people sometimes... okay, yeah, that's too deep. So this is 4. Alright? 4 we done. Aishwarya, Jnana, Virya and Shri. Now, we should not be embarrassed, if I have a Shri component. Arey Prabhuji kaise hain? Main to brahmachari hoon. Shri ka naam sun ke tension aa gaya. Ki Shri kaise hote? No, Shri is just how you beautify things. We have devotees, like when they take prasadam, they like it nice and arranged. Dal matlab dal. Aisa nahi dal ke andar bhaji, sabji. Not like that. They like it in. They like good table or nice plate. I should have a spoon, I should have katori, drone. They like that. There's a Shri element. They like things. And some people are avadut, isn't it? We know in my ashram at least. I mean, you don't know them. But they're like, gamcha idhar hai, kapda udhar hai. Then they come back and say, hey, gamcha kidhar hai? Kidhar rakha tha? So they're like, there's no... and sometimes when they run to the temple, these buttons, they get misplaced. One button upar, one button niche. I have one devotee, one button upar, one button niche. The collar is sticking out like that. समझ गया ना? And he's singing Mangala Aarti and I'm like, Prabhuji, लोग देख रहे हैं आपको. So थोड़ा अच्छा, अच्छा है क्या? ठीक है ना? So they have zero Shri aspect. Nothing wrong. See, when you understand ourselves and understand them also, you don't get hardwired about it. When I was initially in the ashram, I would get very irritated with people like this, who I find dirty. I'll be thinking in my mind, creating offenses in my mind. क्या ब्राह्मण है यार? ब्राह्मण दीक्षा मिला, ये मिला, ये तो कितना गंदा है. कितना गंदा है. Really, I could not take it, I need neat. I have the Shri component. So, I got really irritated. But then I understood that people are built differently. कितना भी आप उसको force करेंगे, they will not do it. कितना भी. So we need to just adjust with it. And that person are not bad also. They are very good people. Brilliant chanter, brilliant speaker, nice preacher, really very nice devotee. But uska hai nahi wo, isn't it? If you remember your nectar of instruction, drishte swabhava janiter vapushascha joser. One should not judge devotees based on the externals. What we are discussing is that material externals. Again, with the practice of tivra bhakti, we can overcome this. But to get there, let us be real with what we have. Let us work with what Krishna has given us. Krishna has given me. Nothing wrong, isn't it? So he may have that lacking. I will not use the word, but he may have that lacking, but he has so many other good qualities. Focus on your strength. This prosperity type is basically your strength. And you need this. If you don't have it, you will feel very disturbed. When you have it, you will feel very composed. You will feel very happy, satisfied. So that's why this prosperity type is important. 5th is called Yasha. Now Yasha means fame. You think, oh, ye to naam ke piche ja raha hai. This is not puja, labha, pratishtha. Yasha means fame. Yasha also means noticed heroism. Noticed heroism. Virya is heroism. But if no one notices, I don't care. I'm doing it because I like to do it. Like a firefighter, जाके building के अंदर लोग को बचा दिया. उसका दूसरे दिन में पेपर में नाम नहीं आया. He's okay. But Yasha means someone who wants noticed heroism. Okay, again, it's not bad, but he feels encouraged by it. These are the kind of people who, when they give class, they need an audience. समझ गया? ऐसे लोग भी हैं ना, पूछे कितने लोग हैं? It's not bad. They need it. Why? उनको encouragement मिलते हैं. लोग को देके, संख्या को देके, they need it. This is just one definition. These are the kind of people that require community, require team. अकेला function नहीं होता है. They like working in teams. They understand the power of teams. Akela means they know that I have capability, I have capacity, I know I have efficiency, but still I want a team because I feel, this is Yasha. Yasha basically means community, networking. Why? In community, in networking, you notice each other. Yasha means you need notice. You understand that person's plus and minus, you understand your plus and minus. You are dependent on him, he is dependent on you. That is Yasha. So this is one of the unique definitions that after when I heard this, of Mataji, I really wrote a testimony on this because fantastic definition she has got. Yasha is network. Yasha is encouragement. Yasha is allowing back and forth. And this may not be always acknowledgement. I'm not saying a person who is insecure, har baar aapko, very good, very good. Aisa nahi chahiye. But they understand. Sometimes you don't have to say it also. Like let's say both of us are in a team. और हमने कुछ कार्य किया, वो सक्सेस हो गया, तो मैं समझ गया, he is happy with me, I am happy with him. बोलने का भी जरूरी नहीं. That is Yasha. It may not necessarily be verbal appreciation always. Okay? So, they are the kind of people when they work alone, nothing gets done. Although they are very efficient, personal efficiency बहुत high है. But अकेला अगर उसको project दिया, ज़्यादा बढ़ते नहीं. जैसे उसका कोई सहकारी, you say ना, someone with them. When someone working with them, but the project expands. Because they need this Yasha potency. Okay? But if it's a person that loves crowd fanfare, for example, comes on the stage and everyone ताली बजाते, ये Yasha नहीं है, ये Shri, ये opulence है. If it comes on a stage and everyone says, wow, Prabhuji, and they love that energy, right? They are living off that energy. That is a Shri component. Because there is admiration in there. Yasha is more of networking. Yasha is more of community. So these kind of people are the people that love to live in communities. Okay, like ISKCON is now building many communities. Govardhan Eco Village is one community. So the Yasha component is they like to know that how you're doing, how they are doing, how everyone is connected, how things are moving. They see the picture as a whole. They look at the temple as a whole unit moving around. Jai. Right? They see the temple as a whole, unit moving around. Whereas a person doesn't have Yasha component, they see that temple hall, Sankirtan party, deity, kitchen. They'll see things a little separated. But a Yasha person wants to see everything connected. So Yasha means networking, encouragement, teamwork. So if someone needs this, you have this prosperity type. Okay? Again, some people don't. They are one-man army. This makes sense? Okay? Sixth. Are we on the sixth? Yes. The last prosperity type, as per Dr. Urmila Mataji. Okay? The last prosperity type is Vairagya. Now what does a Vairagya mean? Avadut? No. Vairagya means people who value or cherish freedom and detachment. These are the kind of people that love work which has a lot of travel. Right? Recently my friend, devotee, he got a job with ICC in Bangalore. ICC, na? South Bangalore. So he got a job there with the temple as the yatra manager. So he goes around traveling all over India, organizing yatras, and he loves it because he has this component. Vairagya, he loves travel. These are the kind of people that love job or work which has their own timing. I'm my own boss. I have my own timings. They love when they can make their own schedule. Alright? They are not ready to deal so much with emotional attachment. They like simplistic lifestyle. They don't have much possessions. Simple, moving around. These are the people who have very high, or they have Vairagya opulence. So from these six, Aishwarya, Jnana, Virya, Shri, Yasha and Vairagya, from these six, we can identify that mera nature ki hisab se which is my, prosperity types. And again, prosperity type means what? That which encourages you in your life. So that which encourages you, that you should be involved in. If you're not, you will become very dejected. You'll feel very unnourished. Prosperity means what? You feel actually nourished. And if you don't have it, opposite of prosperity is what? Poverty. You'll actually feel very poor. I'm doing my mala ghoom rahe, mandir mein ghoom rahe, prasad ka plate mein ghoom rahe. You'll feel everything is moving around, but you feel not satisfied. You don't feel satisfaction. So because the material body has a need. And all this six is in Krishna consciousness only. It is the blueprint or the hard wiring which God has created in us, which Krishna has created in us. So to the degree we identify it, we'll be like, wow, I need this. I can do this. This is what I should get involved in. Isn't it? Right? If someone doesn't have this, then if you put them in that position, they'll be very difficult. Like in all my years, since our Keshav Gopal Prabhu is there, we know each other from Malaysia. So I've been told in the past 10 years, more than 10 years, I've been told, become the temple president, become the temple president, become the temple president in Malaysia of our Jagannath Mandir. That I've been told so many times by leaders and authorities and seniors, but I told them I don't have the neck for it. I do not have the neck. I have zero Aishwarya. I do not like positional leadership. If in emergency, apat dharma, I can do it, but I cannot last long. I'm very organized. I'm a good manager, but for myself. I cannot do it for others. So clarity is there. Now you have to do it for the sake of doing it, you'll get frustrated in the long run. Therefore, we see sometimes people, they're doing it for the sake of society. That's great. You get Prabhupada's blessings. Yeah, wonderful. But you have to maintain it. Because if you don't, you'll get frustrated in the long run. So these 6 prosperity types. Any questions on this first? Anyone? Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah. God has all 6 in full. We may not manifest all. Yeah. So what are the 6 Aishwaryas? No. It's called Shad Aishwarya, but Aishwarya is also part of the opulence. Now, what are the 6 opulences? Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasha, Shriya, Jnanam, Vairagyam. So that's the 6 is there only. Aishwarya is also part of the opulence. Yes, Prabhuji.
So can we have, like you told 4, but some part of some.
Perhaps. Could be.
Like situations, sometimes you have to be.
Again, you will say money. Probably if you're thinking, that is not a motivation. What you do with the money, that defines your prosperity type. If I use the money to be free, like I get a lot, I want to be financially independent. I love finance. You know financial independence? It's like a goal of life, isn't it? Financial independence. So actually, which prosperity type is that? Vairagya. Because I want to be free, man. Janjat nahi chahiye mujhe. Understand? So financial independence, you're working for money, but ultimately you want to activate your Vairagya because I want to be free. I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. Okay, businessmen, I need my own time, my own schedule. I will not work for someone. So they have this Vairagya component. People who, who become sadhus or who join the ashram, they have this component that thoda apna space chahiye, apna ye chahiye. And some people, they love to travel, who are not even, they may not necessarily join the ashram. Someone who's a non-devotee also, they love to travel. They love a job which travels because they have this component to be free. Right?
Some of this could be contradictory, like Aishwarya. Person have Aishwarya also and Vairagya also. Because any proportion can happen, but both
May not. Yeah. So it may not happen like that. Someone who has... So then there is primary and secondary. Something must be primary and something will be secondary. Because again, in Aishwarya there's many things. They could be just a person who loves mediating, organizing, just organizing, but they may not like positional leadership. So that's why there's so many definitions to it. So I asked Mataji, why you use the Sanskrit words here? So she told that Sanskrit words are all encompassing because they have many definitions. It's not just one word. It's not Aishwarya means money. That's just one definition. Huh? Aishwarya, it could be resources, it could be opulence, it could be wealth, it could be positional leadership, it could be this, it could be that, it could be so many things. So even when we see in ourselves, we have both, probably it's one aspect of this and just one aspect of this. Right? We're giving long definitions so that it just could be one. Like, for example, in Vairagya, you just want your own schedule, that's it. You may not like to travel. Like, I do not like to travel. I really do not like to travel. But I love my own time, my own space, my own this thing. My own schedule kind of thing. Right? So you may not have all the components. One of it. Does it make sense? Yes, bro. Sorry, when? Yeah. Madhapuman.
that include all this? One who wants to be a king, he cannot have all this Aishwarya.
That actually means for money, that Aishwarya. That Aishwarya means for wealth. Okay, wealth becomes a stumbling block. But if we can, you have it, use it in Krishna consciousness. Right, else where will sit in this temple if there's no wealth? Someone paid for it, isn't it? So, Kunti Maharani is saying for someone who really wants to take shelter of the Lord, wealth can be an obstacle. Because wealth gives you separate independence. So that's the kind of things she's mentioning. And all other things just make you proud. Edamana madah puman. They intoxicate you. I'm from this birth, I'm from that family, I'm very educated. Yes, it creates anarthas in the heart. But these Aishwaryas are not to be correlated with that. These Aishwaryas are what drives us. Right? There's no Shrutaha in here. This Jnana aspect is what drives us. But ultimately, of course, we need humility in all this. But I'm saying about satisfaction in our life. Basic satisfaction. So that's why she calls it career dharma. Basically, she was giving this seminars for youths and for many people, working people, to be happy in your job. Because many people are not happy in their working life. Right? वहाँ से चालू होना चाहिए कि happiness होना चाहिए. Satisfaction. Then you become very productive in temple. You'll become very productive as a devotee. Because we need some satisfaction. Isn't it? So then it extends to all of us also. Everyone is working. Isn't it? Even as brahmacharis, we are working. Isn't it? We don't have defined hours, but because we work all the time. But we also work. Isn't it? So that is also an important aspect. Everyone has to, what is that? Nigraha kim karishyati. What is that? Bhagavad Gita? How can you suppress? Everyone has to work. Anyway, I forgot the starting sloka. But everyone has to do some action. You cannot be without inaction. And if you try to suppress, what is the point of suppressing? Krishna says to Arjun. Not even for a moment that you can actually stop without doing work. So these are the 6 opulences. To the degree that we understand what drives us, to that degree we'll be happy with ourselves and know that mujhe ye zaruri hai. Why? Ultimately we want to practice Krishna Bhakti, isn't it? If someone who has a drive of Aishwarya and you make him clean the toilets, for some time, fine. But after some time, you can't keep doing that. Naturally, he will say that I will buy the products. Bathroom ka saaf safai karna na, I will purchase. Kyun? So, what is the best product? He has to, he'll take control of cleaning the toilets. Even he's doing that job, he'll take control of it. Because nature is there. Better empower them. He has this value. Chalo, aap karo, aap temple president banao. They'll be very good. Because that feeds them. It's not feeding their ego. It's feeding their psychophysical nature. Mind will be very shant. Because mere ko lagega, zaruri hai. Isn't it? Like some people need different nutrients, body. Again, there's no medical people here. Some people require more protein. Some people can burn fat faster, metabolism. It's just a body type. Right? Some people eat 10 samosas and they have no issues. Some people just eat the outside of the samosa. Usko constipation ho gaya. Right? Fact, na? So it's just different, this thing only. So, yeah. Yeah.
But our philosophy is we want to become humble.
Yeah.
Now, a person who's Aishwarya, he cannot artificially become humble.
He can if he practice bhakti very seriously. But to practice bhakti, he has to be first relaxed.
So, because we should feed his Aishwarya. So when we feed his Aishwarya, then as I said, he will have a space to become humble to practice bhakti.
Yes.
So that says Aishwarya will go contrary to bhakti.
And he will suffer in his job, even he has control. Because if he has control and ahankar, then he's going to offend devotees. He's going to fight with devotees. He will not be a very good temple president. He will be a man of a one kingdom, and he's the only king. He's the only person. And we see that happening in, I don't want to quote, but in many temples or centers around ISKCON, sometimes you see the temple president is such an overpowering, dominating person. And then koi nahi hai mandir mein. Koi hai hi nahi. क्यों? उसका है, capability है, but साथ में नम्रता भी चाहिए, isn't it? So actually, according to Dharma, because this is actually adharmic, there are other chapters in the book which talk about how we should practice all this dharmically. That you should practice your prosperity type dharmically. Meaning, everything requires some humility and surrender to God. So even if you have all these things, should have humility and surrender to God. Without all these things, adharma. It is chaos.
explanation, as you just said.
Yeah.
Somebody is temple president and he is the alone one.
So he's not acting his dharma properly because he's offending devotees, criticizing, controlling, thinking that I am the only Ishwar.
So how it could be practiced in a purified state? As you said, all the Shad
Uh.
how they can be practiced in a purified state?
So he knows that I have a capability of handling issues, right? Like I can be a GBC, not me, I'm just saying. The person is saying, I can be a GBC because I want to do it as a service. So if we see all the senior devotees and those who are having positional leaderships in our society, they have this Aishwarya aspect. They have this Aishwarya aspect. They control, they have this thing, but for them, they are doing it, I'm doing it for Prabhupada. I'm doing it for Krishna. So people under them flourish. They have to ultimately remind myself that I'm not this. I'm just like we are not asked to be born as Indian body or Kannad or Telugu or whatever, isn't it? But we have it, isn't it? So still we speak the language, we do this thing, but ultimately we know that I'm not all this. So similarly, the person having this Aishwarya component, Yasha component, whatever component, he knows that I'm doing it for service of Krishna, but ultimately I have nothing to do with this. It's just like if I have black hair, white hair, blue hair, whatever. It's just something I have in this life. Use it for Krishna's service, but actually there's nothing to do with me. So this is very important. This is actually called Dharma, when you're connected to Krishna. Okay? If a person only does control, but has no practice of bhakti, then it will be chaos. But if you empower a person in that line, they can become very nice people. Of course, before empowering, you have to give training. ट्रेनिंग करके फिर empowering. केवल empowering करके तो power out हो जाता है. Isn't it? So training is very important. That's not, but I'm just saying that people also should realize ourselves, inclination. Sometimes there's a lot of artificial humility. The person has a need, but then no. Like, what is that they call when they mix everything together and eat? No, not khichdi, not the food. Khichdi I know. There's a term that some sampradayas and some places they do where they mix everything together and they eat like that so that they don't differentiate. Yeah. So then, so they have that, But someone who, let's say, who has a very high Shri component, usko nahi jam raha hai. Because I want to taste kachori as kachori. I want to taste samosa as samosa. Why? Not for self. Because how Krishna tastes it. How did the Lord taste it? Isn't it? What is that Prasadam song? A shak Krishna ashwadilo. This shaka Krishna had tasted. So with that consciousness, I want to taste it. I don't want to mix it. I just want to taste, oh, the Lord enjoyed this kachori. It was nice and salty. After taking something salty, he went for something sweet. It's a meditation actually. So there's a science in eating also. If you see how Srila Prabhupada eats, Srila Prabhupada ate for hours. Sat down one by one, carefully, tasting everything, then going over it. It's because it's devotional service. Isn't it? Now later, attack! But actually honoring prasadam is devotional service. So someone has Shri component, they like that. They may not fit into that. Artificially if you do, sab log kar rahe, main bhi kar raha hu. But on a long term, you will not relish. When you sit like this and eat, then wow, you're relishing. Samajh gaya na? It's not make you a egoistic person or anything like that. It's just the need. Right. So this is just the prosperity type. I wanted to cover the fields of work, but I guess it's too long. Fields of work is basically, I'll just give a summary. Field of work is basically what we know as the varnas. Nowadays, in today's world, if you say varnas, now people get offended. So Mataji does not use the words of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. She doesn't use these words. Why? Because they have a very negative connotation and a very misleading connotation. For example, if I tell you, if you hear someone says that you are a Brahmana, how do they feel? If I say someone, you are a Shudra, how do you feel? Bad. If I say someone, oh, you're a teacher, oh, you're an engineer, which is better? Which is better? If someone says that he is a teacher or he is an engineer, engineer lag rahe, wow, engineer, barabar? But teacher is a Brahmana and engineer is a Shudra. Fact. But see the words, how it creates a different kind of ego. And therefore, very intelligently and very safely in this book, Career Dharma, Mataji has presented 4 different terminologies. And 100 times she told us, you do not think that equivalent. So she presents 4. She presents artistry, okay, artistry, those who create facilities in this world for others. They create pleasure, they create functionality, they create beauty, they create support. They are the ones who create the table, the chair, the mic. They create everything. They create our clothes, they create our food. They are known as artistry people. Okay, then don't think the equivalent. Huh? The second are people who call government. They are the kind of people who take care of everyone's needs. These kind of people who like government, who are working in that field, they should be like temple presidents. Because they will know that आश्रम में क्या क्या ज़रूरी है, माताजी लोग के लिए क्या क्या ज़रूरी है, बच्चे के लिए क्या क्या ज़रूरी है, यहाँ पे हैंड वॉश होना चाहिए, यहाँ पे. They are the guys who give facilities to everyone. Sorry? No, Indian government does actually very good. Like I travel around India a lot, and I saw a lot of the facilities that Indian government has created. It was very good, really, in many places. Prabhuji knows I was in Malaysia for long, but काफ़ी चीज़ तो सोच समझ के किया है. I went to Konark temple, I went to Somnath, I went to Kashi, Varanasi, different places. Quite, matlab, I would hats off, for some things. Anyways. So second is people who are working in the field of government, right? I'm being very, they are the people that likes justice. Things should be honorable. See, this is Dharma. Justice hona chahiye, honorable hona chahiye. These are the people who being very good leaders. Why? When someone does a mistake, they know how to punish them also, but elevate them. They can do that. Third are the people, for first was artistry, second was government. Third are the people in resources. They love producing, creating, okay, supplying, fueling society. They love things which are sustainable, which are regenerative. They think about profit. These are the people that ensure that if in India you want pizza, you will get it. These are the people that ensure that kaise na kaise udhar se idhar jayega hi. Okay? They love to deal with resources. And fourth are the people of ideas. These are the people who give guidance, wisdom, vision. Okay? Don't think of the equivalent in your head. These are the people that give you vision how to use the resources. Okay? By nature, again four, artistry, government, resources and ideas. Now, by nature, ideas people and artistry people are simplistic. They are not expansive. Simplistic means what? If I have a room of 4 walls, after 20 years you come also, my room will be of 4 walls only. Simple. Small room. They are not expansive. Simplistic. Itna hai, utna hai, bas. Ideas people and artistic people. Very simple. Government people and resource people are always thinking big, expansive. These are the kind of people, that's why they should be leaders. If they start off with a small center, in 5 years they'll build a temple. They have that capability. So this is why they should be leaders, government position. And they should be the resources people. Why? They will think that today I have to feed 10 people. Tomorrow I'll have enough to do annadan for 1 lakh people. They'll think in that sense. But the ideas people and the artistic people, they'll be like, हाँ, इतना क्या है बड़ा करने का? छोड़ दो ना. Simple. It's not they don't like it. They'll appreciate it. They appreciate. बड़ा करेंगे तो अच्छा है, लेकिन आप करो. मैं कर नहीं पाया. मेरा सिस्टम में है ही नहीं. समझ गया? ये गलत नहीं है, ये नेचर के हिसाब से. You have to be very clear. So if tomorrow they make me a temple president and I have a small center, I can honestly tell them after 20 years you'll come, the center will be as it is. Jasi ahi tashi. Yata roop. As it is, it'll be. I can promise them 100%. Why? I cannot think. But if I go and see big temples, I'm like, wow, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. कौन करेगा? तू कर. मैं नहीं कर पाया. But I like it. It's not that I don't like it. I like it. Like I came to Bangalore now yesterday. I spent all the time seeing all the temples, all the projects. Wonderful, brilliant. I will recommend this to others. But I can't do it on my own potency. I don't have that. Understand? So again, ideas people and artistic people are simplistic by nature. And these two are, government and resources are expansive by nature. Expansive bhi chahiye. Movement has to grow. Isn't it? It's zaruri hai. They'll think big, new ways of innovation of preaching. Aisa karein. Expansive people, always thinking big. Prabhupada says, na, my problem is I always think big. Now one more thing is that ideas people and resources people, alag hai? Ideas people and resource people don't deal with people directly. They don't like dealing with people directly. If you see ideas people, for example, a teacher teaches students so much, but the students pass out. New students come, they teach. New students pass, they don't care so much na kahan gaye. ऐसा नहीं teaching time, आगे जाके आप MLA बनाओ, ठीक है, टच में रहो, कुछ प्रॉब्लम तो I'll get it in touch with you. They don't keep, they're like, students come to the teachers, madam, sir, याद है क्या मैं आपका क्लास में, हाँ. Students come and go, isn't it? For them, their passion was what? Presenting the knowledge, not so much of people orientated. Ideas people, not so much people orientated. Right? Generally, preachers have this also. They preach, people come in, people move on, fantastic. They're not so much attached to it. That means not to say they're not dealing with people, but they're not directly stuck with the people, or working with the people, dealing with their emotions and all. So that is ideas and resources. Resources people, they are more worried about the vastu, isn't it? Grains होना चाहिए, cows होना चाहिए, milk होना चाहिए, बांटने का होना चाहिए, collect होना चाहिए, गाड़ी होना चाहिए. They are thinking of all these things. They don't, but ultimately it's going to people only. But they're not worried about the people hands-on. Government people and artistry people, they deal with people hands-on. Artistry people means if I make a table and I show you, I'm artistry, I'm working in the field. If I make a table and show you, I'm not interested about the money. I'm interested with how this table has pleased you. If you say this आपके लिए ये काम आएगा, मेरा सक्सेस हो गया. आपके लिए ये टेबल जो है काम आएगा, you're happy with this table, I feel happy. And many times such people, they just need appreciation. बहुत अच्छा है. Someone who plays, for example, music, mridangam or kartal, they are just looking how to support the singer. And once the singer is supported with skills, they feel that my work is success. Bas. And the singer, if they say that, Prabhuji, thank you, बहुत अच्छा बजाते आप. Wow, they feel happy with that. Okay, they work if that is their profession. Okay, like musicians and all. So these are the people who directly deal with people's feedback. Governor also similarly, those who are in government, governing, they also deal directly with people. Oh, if you're a brahmachari, what are your needs? If you're a mataji, what are your needs? If you're children, they're dealing with people directly. There are guests coming. Oh, there are foreigners coming. There are these seniors coming. There are sannyasis coming. These are the people who deal with people directly. Okay? So now we have to see our nature. Are we simplistic? Are we expansive? Again, there be apat dharma. Sometimes you have to do it because you're given some position. But by nature, okay, simplistic people, if you come, you'll see their positions are very meager. These are the people who give a lot of ideas, but they may not take the helm of management. They may not take the helm. You need another strong personality. Like in our ashram also, we have many leaders, right? Some people are simplistic by nature. They give a lot of good ideas, but they may not be the helm of it. And some are very expansive. Every time new idea, big idea, this, that. And we like it, we support it, but we know we cannot do like that. So this is an overview, and I do not know, maybe you have to speak to your temple president, but I think that, having a seminar with Mataji, if you can afford a 5-day seminar, right, she likes to give that, it'll be very, very helpful, because this is so Krishna conscious, and this is so much connection with Acharyas. She quotes a lot from Shastra, and very in-depth research work. And there's a book also on it, but if you read the book without the seminar, you may not understand, I feel. Career Dharma. Okay, how to be actually dharmic in your career. Career basically means work. So when I went there as a brahmachari, I was thinking, मेरा तो career है ही नहीं. I hate the word career, सुन के I didn't like it actually. But I just went there because I was told. And then I went, and then I liked it. I was told to go attend it for career guidance. I was like, okay. But I attended, I really appreciate it. So it's actually for everyone. And we find out our own opulence and fields in which it work. So I explain the opulences of prosperity types to some detail. Fields of work I did not explain so much. I just introduced you to these ideas. So anyways, thank you all so much for your patient learning and hearing. And I'm so grateful that you are accommodating to me for this, although, I don't know whether I was a guest or what, but thank you for accommodating in your beautiful temple. I visited so many centers, so many places, and the vibrations here, especially from the deities, are very powerful. And you have a very vibrant temple. This, I feel, is like the heart of preaching in Bangalore. So from this place, so many projects have expanded, so many places are growing up. It's very, very beautiful, very powerful. So thank you all so much for your selfless services and your connection with this temple. Pushing forward the movement in a place where it's very difficult for so many reasons. But preaching is difficult anyway, anyways, isn't it? So I hope that I'm not much of a traveler, like I tell you. This is not something like I go around preaching. I'm not like that. I'm far from that, isn't it? I've never been to Bangalore. Can you imagine? In all my life, in all my 37 years, I've never been to Bangalore. I've just transited once in the airport. Nothing much to do. But I came because recently my spiritual master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, had come, right, in your October, right? And he had spent so much time and he wrote many things about the Bangalore preaching. So I was very inspired by it. He wrote this, he wrote that, he's saying how this center is coming up, new temples are created, this, that, devotees. So I was like, okay, let me just, and I had some friends here like Keshav Gopal Prabhu, and in New Srivas Angan, Brinda Maharani Mataji, and the late Anadi Jagannath Prabhu. They were all my friends from earlier time. So I thought, okay, finally after so long, okay, of course Prabhuji is not there. I was a little late to meet with him, Anadi Jagannath Prabhu. But anyways, I thought I'll just come to Bangalore to see how they're preaching and maybe, just tell them that you are doing a good job. Keep it up. Isn't it? But thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki, Shila Prabhupada ki.